Heavenly Father, as this day comes to its end, I come to you tired, not only in body, but in the deeper places too, the places that don't always show on the outside. Tonight I bring you whatever needs healing in me, the parts of my body that ache or struggle, the parts of my heart that are still tender from old wounds, the parts of my mind that grow weary from carrying more than they were built to carry. You are Jehovah Rapha, the Lord who heals, and I come to you tonight simply as someone in need of that name being true for me. You are the God who made this body I live in, every cell, every nerve, every quiet function I never even have to think about to keep me alive. You knit me together before I ever took a breath, and you have known this body in all its strength and all its weakness since before I was born. So tonight, when I bring you what hurts, I am not bringing it to a stranger. I am bringing it to the one who made it in the first place and who understands it better than I ever could. Thank you for this day, Lord, even the parts of it that were hard on my body or my heart. Thank you for the strength I did have, even if it felt like less than I needed. Thank you for the small mercies that carried me through, a moment of relief, a kind word, a breath that came a little easier than the one before it. I don't always notice your hand in the small things until I stop to look for it, and tonight I want to look for it. I praise you because you are not far from suffering. You did not stay distant from pain. You entered it. You know what it is to have a body that hurt, to carry grief, to feel exhausted beyond what words can hold. Whatever I am carrying tonight, you are not looking at it from a distance. You are near to it, near to me, the way you have always promised to be, near to the brokenhearted and near to those whose spirit is crushed. Your mercies are new every morning, and I hold on to that tonight, not just as a general truth, but as a specific promise for whatever I am facing physically, emotionally, or spiritually right now. Whatever tonight looks like, whatever pain or fatigue or heaviness I am carrying, I trust that your mercy toward me tomorrow will be fresh, undiminished by how hard today may have been. I want to thank you, too, for the parts of me that are already working, already healed, already whole, because I know I, too, easily focus only on what hurts and forget to notice what doesn't. My heart is beating without my having to think about it. My lungs are drawing breath. So much of this body is still functioning exactly as you designed it. Even while one part struggles, I don't want to only bring you my complaints tonight. I want to bring you my gratitude too, for the healing that has already happened in me, seen and unseen, over the course of my whole life. I think about how many times you have healed me before, in ways I barely noticed because they happened so completely I forgot there was ever anything to heal. Old injuries that mended, illnesses that passed, griefs that softened over time in ways I couldn't have engineered myself. That track record matters to me tonight, Lord, because it reminds me that healing has always been part of how you relate to me, not an exception you make only when I ask hard enough. Before I ask you for healing, Lord, I want to be honest about the parts of my heart I don't always bring into the light. Sometimes, when I am hurting, I turn inward instead of turning to you. I isolate instead of reaching out. I try to manage pain on my own, as though needing help were something to be ashamed of, when your word has never once asked that of me. I confess the impatience I sometimes feel toward my own body when it doesn't do what I wish it would. I confess the frustration, even the quiet anger that surfaces when healing doesn't come as quickly as I want it to. I confess the moments I have questioned your goodness simply because my circumstances didn't look the way I expected healing to look. Forgive me for measuring your faithfulness by how fast my pain resolves, instead of by who you have always been, regardless of my timeline. I confess, too, the ways I sometimes neglect this body you gave me, the rest I skip, the stress I let build without release, the ways I push through exhaustion instead of honoring the limits you built into me for a reason. I don't say this to shame myself, but to be honest with you, because I know real healing sometimes starts with acknowledging the ways I haven't cared well for what you entrusted to me. I confess the emotional wounds I have carried quietly instead of bringing to you, the disappointments, the losses, the relationships that left marks I still feel. I have sometimes treated those wounds as things to manage privately rather than places to invite you into. Tonight, I open those places to you instead of guarding them. Thank you that your forgiveness does not depend on how well I have cared for myself or how quickly I bring my pain to you instead of hiding it. Thank you that you are patient with me in my healing, the same way you are patient with me in every other part of my life. I release tonight any shame I have carried about being unwell, tired, or hurting. Shame was never something you asked me to carry alongside my pain. I surrender control over how and when healing comes. I release my timeline and accept yours instead, trusting that you are not slow, even when healing feels slower than I want it to be. Not my will, but yours be done, in my body, in my heart, in every place that still needs your touch. I confess, too, that I sometimes bargain with you, Lord, silently promising to be better, to pray more, to trust more, as though healing were a transaction I could earn through better behavior. Forgive me for that. Your compassion has never been a reward for good performance. It has always simply been who you are toward anyone who comes to you, honestly, healthy, or hurting, faithful or struggling to be faithful at all. I release, too, the comparisons I sometimes make between my suffering and other people's, either minimizing my own pain because someone else seems to have it worse, or resenting that someone else's healing came faster or easier than mine, seems to be coming. Neither comparison serves me, and neither reflects how you actually work, since you meet each person exactly where they are, rather than according to some shared scale. Now, Lord, I bring you directly what needs healing tonight. You know exactly what I am carrying in ways I cannot always put into words myself, so I don't have to explain it perfectly. I simply lay it before you the way I would lay something heavy down after carrying it too long. I ask for healing in my body for whatever pain, illness, fatigue, or weakness I am experiencing right now. You are the God who forgives all my sins and heals all my diseases, who redeems my life from the pit and crowns me with love and compassion. I don't fully understand every dimension of physical healing, Lord, but I trust that you see every cell of this body, and nothing about my condition is a mystery to you, even when it feels like a mystery to me. I ask for healing in my mind, for the anxious thoughts, the mental exhaustion, the places where stress has worn me thin. Renew my mind tonight, quiet the noise that keeps replaying itself. Give me the kind of rest that actually restores, rather than the shallow rest of simply closing my eyes while my mind keeps working. I ask for healing in my heart, for grief I haven't fully processed, for disappointment that still stings when I think about it, for relationships that left me more guarded than I wish I were. You are close to the brokenhearted, and you save those who are crushed in spirit. I ask you to be exactly that tonight, close enough that I can actually feel it, not just believe it intellectually. I ask for healing in my spirit, for the weariness that comes from simply trying to keep believing, keep trusting, keep hoping day after day, especially on the days it feels harder than others. Renew a right spirit within me. Restore to me the joy that sometimes gets buried under exhaustion or discouragement. You sent your word and healed them and rescued them from the grave. I ask you to send your word over me tonight, Lord. Speak health, speak restoration, speak wholeness over every part of me that needs it. I don't need to fully understand the mechanism of how you heal to trust that you do. I simply ask, and I trust you with the answer. I think about the woman who reached out just to touch the edge of your robe, believing that even the smallest contact with you could be enough. I don't always come to you with that kind of bold faith, Lord. Sometimes I come cautiously, half expecting disappointment because I have been disappointed before. Tonight, help me reach toward you the way she did, not because I have some formula that guarantees an outcome, but because I believe you are near enough and powerful enough that even a small, honest reach in your direction matters. I think, too, about how healing in your word so often came in unexpected ways, not always instantly, not always how the person receiving it expected. Some were healed with a touch, some with a word spoken from a distance. Some had to wait. Some had to take a step of obedience before they saw the change. I don't know which of those patterns my healing will follow, but I trust that whichever way it comes, it will still be your hand at work. I ask specifically, Lord, for relief from the physical pain I carry, even if only enough to let me actually rest tonight. I ask for my body's natural ability to repair and restore itself to function the way you designed it to. I ask for the medical care I may need, if that is part of how you choose to work, to be effective, insightful, and timely. I don't separate the natural and the spiritual as though only one counts as real healing. You are Lord over both, and I trust you to work through whichever means bring me toward wholeness. I ask for healing over the parts of my body that have carried stress for so long they've almost forgotten what ease feels like. Tight shoulders, a clenched jaw, a stomach that reacts to worry before my mind even catches up. Let my body itself learn tonight what it feels like to be safe enough to fully let go. I also bring you the healing I need in relationships that pain has affected, the ways chronic struggle or illness has strained connections with people I love, the guilt I sometimes feel for needing more support than I wish I did, the isolation that pain can create, even in the middle of people who care about me. Heal those relational wounds too, Lord, not just the ones inside my own body and mind. Father, I want to rest tonight in the peace that comes from knowing I don't have to heal myself. So much of my life, I have treated wellness as something I have to earn or manufacture through sheer effort. Enough rest, enough discipline, enough willpower. Tonight I release that. Healing has always ultimately been yours to give, not mine to force. You will keep in perfect peace the one whose mind is fixed on you, because that mind trusts in you. So I fix my mind on you now, instead of on the worry about how long this will take, or whether it will get better, or what happens if it doesn't. I don't have to solve tonight what I cannot solve tonight. I simply have to rest and let you hold what I cannot. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest, you have said. I come to you exactly like that tonight, weary and carrying more than I sometimes admit. I receive your rest now, not the kind that requires me to have everything figured out first, but the kind that is simply offered freely to anyone tired enough to ask for it. Let my body actually receive sleep tonight, Lord, not restless, interrupted sleep, but the deep kind that lets healing actually happen while I rest. You give sleep to those you love, and I receive that gift now, trusting that even while I am unconscious, you are still at work, still holding together what needs to be held. Quiet whatever pain is loudest tonight, whether physical or emotional. Let this be a night where, even if healing is not complete, relief is real. Let me feel, even in some small way, that you are near to what hurts rather than distant from it. I confess that rest doesn't always come easily when my body is in discomfort or my mind is preoccupied with worry about what's wrong. Sometimes trying to force rest only makes me more aware of what isn't resting. So instead of forcing it tonight, I simply invite your presence into the discomfort itself. I don't need the pain to disappear completely before I can feel you near me. I ask you to meet me in it, exactly as it is. Teach me, Lord, what it looks like to rest even in the middle of an unfinished healing process, not resting because everything is resolved, but resting because I trust the one who is doing the resolving. That kind of rest has always been harder for me than the simple kind that comes after a problem is already solved, but I believe it is the kind of rest you actually offer most often, since so much of life happens in the unfinished middle rather than the resolved end. If sleep does not come easily tonight, let my mind at least return to you, rather than to worry again and again, as many times as it takes. Let this time of stillness, whether or not it turns into full sleep, still be restorative, simply because I spent it turning toward you, instead of away from you. Lord, I don't know exactly what tomorrow's healing journey will look like, whether it will bring visible progress or simply another day of continuing to trust you through something unresolved. Either way, I ask for strength to meet it. Those who wait on you will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint. I ask for that renewal tonight, so that whatever tomorrow requires of my body, my mind, or my heart, I am not facing it depleted, but carried. Give me wisdom for practical steps I need to take, rest I need to prioritize, care I need to seek out, boundaries I need to set to protect my healing rather than delay it. Healing is not only a spiritual work, it is often also a practical one, and I ask for discernment to know the difference between pushing through in faith and simply ignoring wisdom in the name of faith. I trust you with the pace of this healing. Some things mend quickly. Some things take much longer than I would choose. I don't want to compare my healing to anyone else's, or to some timeline I've built in my own mind. I trust that your timing, even when it is slower than mine, has never once been careless. Renew my hope for tomorrow, Lord, even on nights when today felt discouraging. Let me wake tomorrow with a heart willing to keep trusting, keep hoping, keep believing that healing, in whatever form and whatever timeline you have for it, is genuinely coming. Help me tomorrow to hold both patience and hope together, without letting one crowd out the other. I don't want patience to slide into resignation, quietly giving up on believing things can improve. But I also don't want hope to slide into denial, refusing to acknowledge how hard this actually is. Teach me to hold both, genuinely hoping for healing while genuinely being honest about where I am right now. Give me grace for the days that don't show obvious progress. Healing rarely moves in a straight line, and I know there will be days that feel like steps backward, even within an overall forward direction. On those days, remind me that a hard day does not mean you have stopped working. It simply means the process is not finished yet. I trust you with the people who will care for me tomorrow. Doctors, if I need them, friends and family who support me, anyone whose help is part of how you have chosen to bring healing into my life. Give them wisdom, patience, and genuine care, and give me the humility to receive help rather than insisting on managing everything alone. Since I know isolation has never actually sped up my healing, only made it lonelier. Father, before I close, I bring before you everyone else tonight who is carrying pain of their own. I think of those with illnesses far more serious than mine, those waiting on difficult diagnoses, those in hospital beds tonight instead of their own homes. Be their comfort, be their strength, be present in ways that medicine alone cannot reach. I lift up those grieving losses that have not healed, even after time has passed, the kind of pain that doesn't follow a neat timeline. Meet them in that grief tonight. Remind them that healing from loss doesn't mean forgetting, and that you are patient with however long their process takes. I pray for those caring for someone else's healing right now, the exhausted caregivers, the family members holding vigil, the ones pouring themselves out for someone they love and running low on their own strength. Renew them too, Lord. Let them feel seen even as they focus so much of their attention on someone else. I pray for those whose healing is invisible to others, mental health struggles, chronic conditions no one can see, quiet battles fought without recognition or support. Give them the courage to seek help where they need it, and surround them with people who will not dismiss what they cannot see for themselves. And I pray for anyone tonight who has stopped believing healing is possible for them at all, worn down by how long they've waited, how many prayers have gone seemingly unanswered, how tired they are of hoping. Meet them gently, Lord. Rekindle even a small flame of hope in hearts that have nearly let it go out. I think of children who are unwell tonight, too young to understand why their bodies hurt, and I ask for your special tenderness over them. Comfort them in ways only you can. Give their parents strength and wisdom in caring for them, and peace in the moments when there is nothing left to do but wait and trust. I pray for those facing long recoveries, the slow, unglamorous kind that doesn't happen all at once, the kind that requires patience most people don't see or understand from the outside. Give them endurance for the parts of healing that take far longer than anyone expects, and surround them with people who don't grow impatient with their pace. I pray for those who are dying, Lord, and for whom healing in this life may not come the way we hope. Be present with them in a different, but no less real way. Heal what can be healed in their spirit, even if their body continues to decline, and give their families peace that surpasses understanding as they walk that road together. I pray for those in chronic pain who have learned to function despite hurting every single day, whose strength is rarely acknowledged because it doesn't look dramatic from the outside. It just looks like getting up again. See them tonight, Lord, in a way the people around them may not. I pray for those recovering from surgery, from injury, from illness that knocked them down harder than they expected. Speed their healing where it is your will, and give them grace for themselves in the meantime, so they don't measure their worth by how quickly they bounce back. I also bring before you those who feel forgotten in their suffering, people whose pain has gone on so long that others have simply stopped asking about it, stopped checking in, moved on with their own lives, while the suffering person is still in the middle of theirs. Be the one who does not grow tired of remembering them, even when others have. As I come to the end of this prayer, Father, I want to rest in the truth that you are still the God who heals, even on nights when the healing I'm asking for hasn't fully come yet. My hope was never meant to rest on how quickly things improve. It rests on who you are, unchanging, faithful, near, regardless of my current condition. Thank you for hearing this prayer, imperfect and honest as it is. Thank you for meeting me in my pain instead of asking me to hide it before I come to you. Thank you for being a God who heals, not because I have earned it, but because compassion and restoration have always been part of who you are. Into your hands I commit my spirit tonight, my body, my mind, my heart, every part of me that needs your touch. Watch over me as I sleep. Let this rest be genuinely restorative, and let me wake tomorrow a little more whole than I was today, trusting that whatever healing looks like from here, I am not walking through it alone. I don't know how many more nights like this one lie ahead before I feel fully well, Lord, and I don't think you're asking me to know that tonight. What I do know is that you have been faithful through every hard night before this one, and I have no real reason to believe tonight is any different, even when it feels heavier than most. So I choose, one more time, to trust you with what I cannot yet see the end of. Thank you for staying close through the parts of this journey that have felt slow, confusing, or discouraging. Thank you for not requiring me to have unwavering faith every single day in order to remain faithful to me. Thank you for meeting me in the tired, imperfect, still hoping place I am in tonight, and for promising that this place is not the end of my story. Thank you for your healing. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for never growing tired of meeting me exactly where I am. In Jesus' name, amen.